Hello there, my friends, and welcome to my channel. It's Kate in the Nest, and of course, I'm back. This is going to be a Sunday stitch along, and I'm going to call it a mini make with scrappy bits. And not all of these are scraps, but they are tiny, tiny little bits. And I'm thinking about my Christmas tree and the decor of my house, and I have lots of inspiration around me. So the first thing I'm going to um, show is this tiny, it's not tiny, but it's beautiful tag that my friend Sandra Sydney made for me for Christmas last year. So it's got a little angel on it. It's got a blanket, all the things that we love, a piece of fabric, and stitched around with a fringe. Everything that I love, and a ribbon. So that's going to go on my tree. I don't put it away every year. I've actually kept it out on my desk for inspiration. So that's one idea. So I thought we'd explore how to make our own decorations. I bought this home from India. It was at the trim store, and you haven't even seen the trims, but I carried my AirPods on the plane in that, and as a decoration, that's just ready to go. So that's an idea. I've got this scrap of velvet sari trim. Did I cut that myself, or was that a gift? I actually can't remember, but I can see ways of turning that into something. I've got this piece of crochet doily that I've used on many other works, but it's in the Christmassy colours. I had a quick look through my crochet, coloured crochet nest just before I came on, and this is already like a hanging. I hadn't even realised this has got like a stem, and is that an acorn leaf or an oak leaf? And maybe I could make, so I'm thinking about a new set of decorations. I've got these very, very inexpensive plastic bangles from India. I've got this scrap that I use for various times. This material actually came from Bangkok earlier in the year, but I've just tied it in a bow to show how effective it can be just as a bow, but I think as a decoration. And look at these. I bought this braid in India, and it's the peacock, but it's in the Christmas colours. And I thought, is that not just waiting to be used? So let's just start here, because I've got an idea. If we put that back to back and trimmed around here, so I'm right into it already. So whether you've got this sort of trims or others, I suppose I'm just, I haven't looked at what other people on YouTube are making for their decorations, and I'm sure there's lots of other ideas out there. It's just been cut a little bit crooked, which normally doesn't worry me, but let's start with this. I've got just some the innards of a cushion here, so we can do some stuffing. Oh, another scrap I found was this, and look at those little bits. Let's turn that into a decoration, but let's stick with one thing at a time. Oh, and I found these that I bought back from India, so they're also very Christmassy. So let us do one decoration first. And what do I need? I've gone. So my friends, how are you? I I'm thinking of you lots. So excited to be home. I know everyone will be. I'm not going to say busy, because I really had a change of heart, and I've probably said this before, that everyone goes, oh, we're so busy getting ready for Christmas, and I've just had a mindset change, and I thought the busyness is a very joyful part of it, isn't it? Like, we're doing this busyness because we're prepping for family, for people to come over. And I know not everyone has, family that come over anymore, but so whatever we're doing at this time of the year, let's not let it be over too soon, and let's not, if we can help it, make it stressful. So I'm channeling my inner India and just being calm and joyous, and I'm playing with colour this morning. Of course, colour, but in a different way. I'm just checking that you can see me. Still very out of practice. So I'm just going to stitch up down the bottom here. And this could have easily stayed as a square, but I like the idea that we've shaped the bird, sort of. And yes, my decorations will fray. If you don't want a frayed effect, you just sew it like a seam like that. And you do right sides together. So my husband and I just had our usual Sunday sit down for the first time for, I think, 3 weeks or so, because we're both home, and it's a happy home day, and we like to have a morning coffee and look ahead, do some planning, and show gratitude for the weekend that is still with us. And even when times are busy, like we've got a few things on, it's still lovely just to have that time to chat. And so I called it Happy Home Day Hooray this morning, which he quite liked. So I'm going to make this video and put it up early today. I like doing it in live time, so that's why it's never at a predictable time. And sometimes I throw in an extra funny one like I did yesterday because my quilt came home. So I'm not a planner of of anything really in this beautiful stitchy life. But I am going to make this, and then I'm going to disappear until midweek. I've got some things to be finishing up for November and even October, and I want to start in serious on my big works. So I'm up to the top. Oh, look, I hadn't even thought, oh, we'll do that next. So you just start something and you get just inspired and excited. And a little peacock. Little did you know when you were in the shop that you were coming home to Australia. Do we need a little bit more? My mum used to always make Christmas decorations for our trees. I've still got some of them, and she'd do them on the machine. And so I just, as I was just chatting, putting that stuffing in, I thought, oh gosh, I am, it's a wonderful celebration that I'm doing things that I've grown up around. and probably took for granted, and now having that absolute pleasure of doing them myself and having the time. I think that's, I used to always have to rush putting a tree up. And for many, particularly in education, I think the end of the year is synonymous with so much extra. You have to sort of be planning for the next year, getting organised, as well as completing all the things that talk about this, the students' growth. All right, there we are. Happy with that already. So it's a little pillow, but it's not going to stay like that. What about I use this as the hanger-uppera? So let's zip back. And of course, we could be, my mind's going crazy. You could be doing these with florals, with gingham, with whatever is your favorite, whatever your color scheme for the year is. Okay, so I'm just going to simply go round and round just to secure this on. Now it hasn't got a lot of weight in it. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so I'll put it downwards so you can get the idea, but that will dingle and dangle. I should call them dingle dangle slow stitched Christmas decor. I'm feeling I'm not quite in the middle. Oh yeah, I am. I should have put that inside, but I actually will put an extra. Let's do that now. Okay. Some things I do like to be precise. And so for the first learning, yes, I could have used, and in fact, I'm going to do that now. So every scrap is a possibility. So let's take this little bit off here, this little bit off here. So we've made a little bit of a ribbon. And let's make that more like a tag. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so thread this up, put that over, gives it a much more finished look, doesn't it? I've got it too long, but I will just stitch it first. It's quite easy to stitch because it's just the trim. Excuse my nose. I know that's very annoying, but that's the hay fever. Windy again. So I've got some washing out. do an extra one just for good luck. And you just put that like that. Oh, what do you think? I'm very happy with that. Made up. Never before done one of those. Okay, there, that's better. And of course I could, if I was patient, and I might later, or with a different piece, I could go in and stitch around that line there. Okay, so there is the first decoration. Let's make a tag now, like Sandra Sydney's. This is Scrappy blanket. Oh, I could do it actually. She's used cheery blanket, and I've got a little bit of green here. So I'm sort of sticking with oranges and reds and greens. Let's just cut up here and do a rip. I might rip all along so we've got more than one possibility. So if you've got something you like, just copy it. Meaning I don't buy patterns. Okay, so there's our blanket tag. I think we could use a little bit of this. Oh, I think I'm going to have a very big sneeze. Sorry. No, I can't. So this has got the seam and it's a bit puckered, which makes it more interesting for me. So let's imagine that's going to be the front. And now let's have a play. Got that little medallion. Might work. I've got these two little, I think I'll save them for something else. What about this? And that curve can echo that curve. One more pin. And I'm thinking the top or the bottom can have a little bit of that same trim. And where's the model again? Then a little dangle at the top, maybe. Let's put this up the right way. Wool. Oh, it's still got a lot on here, so let's do this. So the Kate way is the lazy way. How many bits can we get down? Sort of like a double stitch then. So if you made Christmas decorations before, I imagine you have. Lots of people do bunting and all of that sort of thing. I've got bunting coming that I can't wait to show you, but I have to be patient. And the nice thing about, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, using this cherry type of wool is it's got the variegation on it, and it will show up on that stripe. You'll have to tell me whether you've made Christmas decorations, because I'm still new to this world. We're ending up going down to my husband's family again. It wasn't going to be planned to be, but they're not up to traveling, and my sons were very keen to go again. So even though it's our family sort of off year, that's what we're doing. So why am I saying that out loud? Because I was just thinking maybe I could do a set of decorations. We'll make one for everyone. So there we are. This is what I mean by efficiency of thread. The one thread has got the background, the trim, the feature, and we might have enough left still to, what are we going to put up here? I'm leaving you to think about that while I give my nose a blow. Necessity. Please block your ears. So I don't like blowing my nose, but I don't like sniffing even more. Okay. I mean, I could stay with the theme. Where's the first one? Yeah, maybe I do 3. And what did we learn? I could actually just put that there. So the tag actually becomes the joining on. Just go in and out on this one. There we go. Really like that. So I've done 2. another one in me. So I'm just doing this extra stitching using the wool up while I think of what the next one might look like. So I'm doing it like a little seed stitch. There we go. Got one. We've got two. I think this idea is too big to just show you now because that will take some backing time, but that could go over something like that. Probably a bit big actually, I think, scale-wise for a tree. I've got this little one that can hang down that could have some trim added. But maybe that would be a waste of the trim, so let's see. I love velvet. Let's chop this scrap up and see. I think this was on a nest at some point. So I'll put that back in with my treasures. I've got this little bit of Beck's quilting as well in Christmassy colours. I'm looking at this stripe in the middle. This was the collar of the little girl's dress that I got when I was in Melbourne. I mean, that could make a nice little bell. And hang down. Then I could have things dingle-dangling. And if I ever needed it, I could just go back. So let's stitch that up. Everything for a needle. The thread that keeps on giving. Oh, and it's already fallen to that length. So thank you for joining me for this play session. I'm going to have to make sure if I join this first. In fact, let's do a little decorative stitch, which is just a just a running stitch, as I say. Just go up and down, and you can do everything in slow stitching. I have to say sorry to my journal followers because I haven't done a journaling video for a long time. But I did finish my diary cover last night and I'm thrilled. So maybe I need to make, because I made a Christmas journal last year. I'll have to get that out and decide whether I'm going to. Okay, so what have I done? That's just a little casing in there. I've gathered it up a little bit. Let's make a feature of the join of the collar. So let's go in here. And all those years of just making clothes for my dolls. That's what I feel like I'm coming full circle. Something like a lampshady idea. It's better. Lampshady bell. So I was thinking, could I dangle that jewel and make it like a brooch? Or is that a waste of that beautiful piping? Could hang down from inside, but I'd probably have to crochet something. Let me just have a think. I've got this lovely trim. Let's see the set. What's missing? There's gold on that one. There's gold on that one. I had this. That could go up there as a hanger. And keep coming back to this. I think it's got to be that. Or my husband's just come up to the back window and he's just done a freestyle swimming motion. So I think that means he's off to do his swim. Why don't I do that and then I've got both sides. Cover the needle, back this way. Into there. not been the most easy, has it, when you're making things up? As always, it's just about, well, these are my ideas, but I'm hoping to inspire your own ideas to do your own thing. Yep. And I haven't got a lot of stitches in there, but it's not going to be bearing any weight. I could find the end of the thread. There it is. So dingle dangle like a little skirt. I could wrap. Nope. You know what I want to do? I want to make 5 now. I've only got 3. I'll do it now. But look what these sorts of things start to happen and it becomes embarrassing. So let me just leave. No, I'll just take that, finish that there. And let's just look at what we've made in that quick time together. So we have 3 different, unique. I just need to fiddle with that one. You can see I'm not quite happy, and it's maybe a bit green. So let's look at this. I like that better. So I've just pinned that on in like a frill. And come back to that. Yeah, so we've got tag. We've got the peacock. I really like those tags. Do you know what? We're going to do another one. And use something different, maybe. She says, look at this for scrap. So nothing. Oh, because I've got this. I'll sit back down. Feel free to go if you've had enough. But, well, that's almost like a heart. There you go. Let's do it on the contrast. Yep. Or maybe this is going to be a heart-shaped decoration. And I can put some stuffing in it. Let's do this. I love that fringe sticking out there. It's a bit wonky. You know what I'm looking for, don't you? There we are. So we're going to overstitch this one. zip around. Why not, if I've got the time? Because by this afternoon I'll be doing something completely different. And I've just had another idea, which you've also probably thought of, like what if we did a 12 days of Christmas and you could make a decoration a day. So now we're just overstitching to keep that green fringe showing there. We have to, don't let me go past putting stuffing in it. I'll have to use some of this yo-yo because there's a hole. Although I could have put the stuffing in there anyway, doesn't matter. So are you like me and have to do things in odd numbers? I'm getting worse at it. I feel like now we need to give this a little bit of haircut. Need some more stuffing in here. This make a nice brooch as well, which is what Sandra did. Like there's a pin behind here so it can hang or be worn. So this is just stuffing out of an op shop cushion. Of course, you could be using your scraps or your these little bits of blankets. I use everything really. There we go. Squish it in. This is very satisfying feeling. So I've got the stuffing over the cotton. And see, that was the blanket stitch that was around the blanket, and I sort of love that that's still there. There we are. I've got the low battery sign, so I just probably better not go test the friendship too much with my camera, which is my phone. Nothing flash here. Cute. Now, you know, I just realized I have 5 bangles, and then I've got this one, and I've got a yellow one. So why don't we go multicolor on this one? And I was thinking something about that braid. wonder if I could, yes. Sorry, I answer my own questions. How about that? I'm going to go round the heart with this gold. Down to there. I'll leave this little bit extra. Okay, are we going to do this, my friends? Does it? Oh, I should have left a loop. Enough for the loop. Or maybe I just do the loop with you and then the trimming later. That would be better, because otherwise my battery might run out. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I love this braid so much. I'm going to include it in my kits because it doesn't just have to be for Christmas. It can go with anything. All right. Wishful thinking. Yep. I need a new thread. I mean, this one even looks a bit Mexican, does it? So just in case I disappear, it'll just be my camera running out of battery. But let's just see, and number 5 I will have to do myself. So I still got that bit of quilting as well. So let's just go in here. Is this the dangle? Yeah. I've got double wool. You don't need that. It just happened. Let's fold it over. I could make it. I couldn't. I wish I hadn't done that. Let's have a pull and see. Yeah. So like that little bit of thread hanging down. There we are. It only has to hold itself. I'll do one more through to the front. Oh, let's stab to that little Suffolk puff. And because we've got thread, let's just do some extra stitches. Let's now go down. On this side, into this side, just filling in that bare blanket quilt bit. With some stitching. The variegation makes it more interesting. And what I was thinking of doing is, if I can find the center, I can. I'm going to come into this little flower and do some extra stitching like it's the flower centerpiece. It keeps it more open as well. And look at the green on the other side, all sorts of possibilities. Okay, so that's going to be it. Don't know what that was doing the whole time there. Upside down, purple. All right, decoration number 1. Decoration number 2. Number 3, still a work in progress. And number 4. There we go. I think my light is fading. I better go. Thank you so much for being with me. Little mini makes with scrappy bits. You can do anything that you want. Until next time, bye.